topic, GLP-1. It can change your body, but it doesn't automatically change how you feel in your life. And I think that's the part no one really prepares you for, because you can lose weight, look different, hit your goals, and still feel off, disconnected, or not quite like yourself. So if you've experienced that or you're worried about it, this is the part we need to talk about. Hi, I'm Justin. I'm a therapist, a mom of two. And on this channel, I talk about emotional regulation, motherhood, sobriety, and identity shifts in real life. And this video is not anti-GLP-1. There are real benefits. There are reasons people choose it. But what I don't see talked about enough is the mental and emotional side of it, especially for women and moms who are already navigating a lot internally. So I want to walk through what GLP-1 does help with, what it doesn't fix, and 3, why you might feel off even after external changes. So what does it do? GLP-1 medications can be incredibly effective at reducing appetite, helping with weight loss, creating more structure around eating. And for a lot of people, that brings relief, especially if food has felt overwhelming, inconsistent, or emotionally charged. It can create a sense of control where things previously felt chaotic. And that matters. So this isn't about minimizing that. It's about adding another layer to the conversation. What it doesn't fix. Because here's where things can feel confusing. You can experience all of these external changes and still feel uncomfortable internally. And that's usually because GLP-1 doesn't directly change your relationship with yourself, your emotional patterns, your identity, and most certainly not your nervous system. So if you are using food to cope with stress, overwhelm, or emotion, removing the behavior doesn't then automatically resolve the need underneath it. And sometimes that shows up as feeling disconnected, not knowing what to do with your emotions, increased awareness of stress, or even feeling a loss in your routine. Because something that used to serve a role, even if it wasn't ideal, is no longer there in the same way. And now there's space. And space can feel uncomfortable if you're not used to it. Identity shift. So another layer of this that I think is really important to identify. Another layer of this that I think is really important is identity. When your body changes, your identity doesn't automatically update at the same pace. So you might notice you still think about yourself the same way. You still feel self-conscious. You still question how you're perceived, or you don't feel as confident as you expected to. And that can be really disorienting because there's often this expression that when I get there, I'll feel, right? Fill in the blank. When I get where, I'll feel what? And when you get there and you don't feel how you expected, it can feel confusing or even really disappointing. But that doesn't mean anything is wrong. It just means that internal change and external change doesn't always happen at the same time. Okay? So now putting on that therapist lens, so from a therapist perspective, this makes a lot of sense because our nervous system, your nervous system, and your emotional patterns are built over time, like a long time. They're not just tied to your body. right? Like tied to your body, like you could lose 40 pounds in 4 months. But that nervous system has taken years to develop. Okay, so we're thinking about the nervous system, emotional patterns, how they're not tied to your body. They're tied to how you cope, how you respond to stress, how you relate to yourself, how safe or regulated you feel internally. So even if your body changes, your system may still operate at the same patterns. And that's why someone can look different, but still feel anxious, still feel overwhelmed, and still feel disconnected, because the external shift doesn't automatically create internal regulation. And that's the piece that actually changes how you experience your life. So, what actually helps? What actually helps long term is learning how to regulate your emotions, understanding your patterns, building a different relationship with yourself, and creating support that isn't just external. So instead of asking, how do I change my body to feel better? The question becomes, how do I support myself so I actually feel better in my life? That might look like emotional awareness, nervous system regulation, boundaries, different coping strategies, more realistic expectations, because the goal isn't just change, it's alignment. And this is why this connects to so many other areas. It connects to overstimulation, it connects to burnout, it connects to things like alcohol and how we cope, because the underlying theme is the same. What are we using to feel better? And what actually helps us feel better long term? And those are not always the same thing. If you've experienced this, where things look different on the outside, but don't feel different on the inside, you're not alone. And it doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It just means there's more to support internally. In this channel, I talk about emotional regulation, motherhood, sobriety, and identity shifts in a way that's honest, actually useful. So subscribe if you want support that helps you feel more grounded, clear, and like yourself again. And I'd love to know in the comments how anything changed for you mentally or emotionally during your GLP-1 journey. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.